I'm Ryan from ExtremeTerrain.com, and in this video we're going to be telling you all about the hill assist feature on the new JL. Now this isn't completely different from what you would find on the JK, but it is a really nice feature, especially when you're in an off-road scenario like we are right now. So I want to walk you through it and make sure you know exactly how to use it, because again, it can be very, very helpful. Why we're out here in this off-road scenario is because we did a cool video showing you the difference between the 3.6 liter and the 2 liter JL. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel to be able to check that out. So what the downhill assist does is help to brake for you in order to keep you going a very specific speed when you're going downhill. When you're going over bumps, sometimes it's hard to keep your foot on the brake at that exact spot where you want it, and you can end up going a little bit too fast or a little bit too slow. So downhill assist helps you out with that. It's also going to be the button on the dash that looks a little bit like a duck. If you don't know what I'm talking about, take a little bit of a closer look at it. Once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. For now, we're gonna hop in the Jeep and I'm gonna show you how to use the downhill assist on this pretty mild hill. Then we're gonna take you on a much more aggressive hill to see how it works with a lot more of those big downhill stair steps. So let's hop in the Jeep and we'll head down the hill. So now that you know what the downhill speed assist is, let me show you how to engage it. The first step is to start up the Jeep. Once it's running, you want to make sure it's in four-wheel drive. That's the first step. If you go into the owner's manual and read how to engage it, you need to be in four-wheel low. So we're already there. And you can go ahead and press the duck-shaped button on the dashboard and you'll see that there's a yellow light that lights up. Then when you shift into drive and bump over into the manual shifter mode, you'll see just above your fuel gauge on the dash, it tells you what your speed is set to for going downhill, and you can very easily bump plus or minus to change that speed. Now that you know how to do it, let's actually show you as we go down the hill. So like I just showed you, you need to have the Jeep on. Ours is currently running. We're all the way into 4 low. That is the first step necessary. We're gonna go ahead and push the downhill assist button. Yellow light comes on and we have the indicator on the dash. We're gonna go ahead and shift into drive and bump it over into manual. And where this comes on as a default is at 0.6 miles per hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and let off the brake all the way and we start rolling at 0.6 miles an hour. And you can hear the brakes. The Jeep is using all 4 of the brakes independently. It's keeping the gear in first gear and it's keeping the RPMs as low as possible to keep you, no matter how steep the hill is, going the 0.6 miles an hour that you want to be going. Now, because this is a very mild hill, there aren't a lot of rock ledges, there's nothing crazy here, I'm going to go ahead and bump the gear select up one toward the plus position, which is pulling it towards you, and you'll be able to see the indicator here goes up to 1.2 miles an hour, so it goes up by 0.6 miles an hour. So now it's still holding our speed. I'm not doing anything with the pedals, but we're going a little bit faster. If you want to go a little bit faster, you just bump it up again and you get yourself another 0.6 miles an hour up to 1.8, and you can go all the way up to 5 miles an hour just by bumping it up this way. As we go down here, we'll go ahead and bump it up a little bit more, going 2.5 miles an hour. And for this terrain, that's pretty comfortable. If we wanted to go faster, of course you can. The nice thing about the downhill speed assist is even when you get onto a flat land, it still works very, very well, almost as a very low speed cruise control. So what we're gonna do now is go ahead and stop us on this hill. I'm really curious to see how well the downhill speed assist is going to work and see how well it does at keeping us going the speed it's supposed to, even when there are some big drop-offs. So now that we showed you how the downhill assist works on a fairly minor hill, I'm gonna show you how it works when you're really out here on the rocks. So even though this is a much more severe hill, there are a bunch of rocks, this setup is exactly the same. We're in 4 low here. I'm gonna go ahead and pop us into drive and then hit the downhill assist button. I'm also gonna bump it over into manual mode and we're gonna go ahead and head on down the hill. So foot off the brake completely, off the gas completely. Just like before, it's slowing us down, doing it exactly how it should. Now we're coming up to our first couple of drop-offs here, and this is what I was really interested in seeing, is how it handles that. We came down that really, really smooth. It's really the type of pedal control that I would like to have. Sometimes when you're coming down these things, you get bounced around a little bit and you don't quite have that control, but this does it exactly how you would want it to. It's actually keeping us from almost 0 to that 0.6 mile an hour. I'm gonna go ahead and bump it up just a little bit, up to that 1.2 mile an hour. And that seems like a pretty good speed for us here, at least in this more aggressive part of this downhill section here. Again, at one point it would come to a complete stop when you come off a ledge and really end up against a rock, but you start going again right away. It really does make things really smooth for you. So I'm pretty much down here on the flat here, so I could go ahead and throttle out of this, or I'll just go ahead and bump it up a couple of bumps up to 2.5 miles an hour, and let it take us for a little drive here. So here we're on the flat, and the downhill assist still works very well. It's almost a very slow speed cruise control, keeps us moving at that 1.2 miles an hour that we have it set to over this rough terrain. So again, it makes it really, really smooth for us because we're not accidentally moving the pedals as we're going over these bumps. I'm gonna go ahead and come to a stop here. I have to say the downhill speed assist was really impressive for me coming down such a steep grade with all of those big ledges and those big drop-offs. I expected it to work very well when we were on that gravel hill back there, but it was really impressive to see it working coming down something much more severe. So that's gonna do it for this video. I hope it helped you guys to know how exactly to use that downhill speed assist. And for those of you that weren't sure exactly if it actually works off-road on a more severe trail, well, now you know it works very, very well. I personally was very impressed by it. Make sure you comment below, let me know a situation when you've used the downhill assist, how it worked for you and how you liked it. And also make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you can check out all of our JL review videos and some of the best Jeep content out there.